They found him tied to their doorstep at dawn, a wrinkled, tiny Bullmastiff puppy with a note that shattered hearts. His owner, Michael, had abandoned him with nothing but a leash and 7 words. "I hope he's happier with you than me." The Patterson family had 0 plans to keep him. In fact, they'd already decided: feed him, get his shots, drop him at the shelter. Simple, clean, no attachment. But here's the thing about rescue dogs nobody tells you. They don't ask for permission to steal your heart. They just do it, one day at a time. One sneaky, slobbery, 165-pound moment at a time. This is Meech, and this is the story of how a family that absolutely wasn't keeping him ended up with a 6-year-old, snoring, couch-crushing, drooling gentle giant they can't imagine life without. Meech's life started the way too many Bullmastiff puppies do. Full of hope, wrapped in love, and tragically short-lived. Michael adored him. For 1 beautiful month, maybe 2, Meech knew what it felt like to belong, to be somebody's whole world. But then life happened. A job transfer, a new city, an apartment that didn't allow dogs, the kind of brutal, unavoidable reality that forces impossible decisions. And so, in the quiet hours before sunrise, Michael made the hardest choice of his life. He walked Meech 1 street over, tied his leash to the Patterson family's door, pinned a handwritten note to his collar, and walked away. Meech didn't understand. He sat there, trembling, waiting for his human to come back. He didn't know that goodbye was permanent. As morning light crept across the pavement, hunger gnawed at his tiny belly. He barked, thin, desperate little yelps that barely carried past the door. Minutes passed, then more. Finally, the door cracked open. A confused face stared down at the wrinkled, puppy-eyed creature on their porch. The note said, "Everything and nothing at once. I hope he's happier with you than me." The Pattersons stood frozen. What do you even do? They weren't dog people. They hadn't planned for this. But they couldn't just leave him there, could they? So they brought him inside. Temporarily, they told themselves, and immediately started planning his next stop, the shelter. But first, food. The poor thing was starving. They grabbed kibble from the store, filled a bowl, and watched him inhale it like he hadn't eaten in days. 2 days passed. The shelter was still the plan. But wait, he needed vaccinations first, right? You can't just drop off an unvaccinated puppy. That's irresponsible. So, vet appointments scheduled, shots administered, another few weeks went by. If you're watching this and haven't subscribed yet, I have to say I'm a little heartbroken. Stories like this need your support. Hit that subscribe button right now. You won't regret it. Now, back to Meech. The Pattersons kept telling themselves the same thing. We'll take him to the shelter soon, just 1 more walk, just 1 more month, just until he's a little older. Excuses stacked on excuses. And Meech, he had no idea he was temporary. He just loved them, unconditionally, fully, with his whole wrinkled, goofy heart. Months blurred together. Every time the shelter conversation came up, someone found a reason to delay. Let's wait until after his birthday. He's finally settling in. Let's not disrupt him now. Maybe just 1 more month. The thing is, Meech wasn't doing anything extraordinary. He wasn't saving lives or protecting anyone from danger. He was just being Meech. A lovable, clumsy disaster of a dog who thought laps were made for 165-pound Bullmastiffs. He'd flop onto the couch like a collapsing building, completely oblivious to personal space. He snored so loud at night, it sounded like a chainsaw cutting through concrete. When he saw food, any food, saliva rivers poured from his jowls like Niagara Falls. He had zero concept of too big for this. If someone sat down, Meech tried to climb into their lap. If someone opened the fridge, Meech materialized out of thin air, eyes locked on target, drool already flowing. He wasn't graceful, he wasn't dignified, but God, he was theirs. And somewhere along the way, maybe it was the 3rd month, maybe the 6th, the shelter stopped being part of the conversation. Nobody said it out loud. Nobody made an official decision. They just stopped pretending. Meech turned 1 year old, then 2, then 3. The Pattersons had long since stopped calling him the dog we're going to rehome and started calling him our boy. By the time Meech hit 6 years old, the transformation was complete. He wasn't a rescue anymore. He wasn't temporary. He was family. The kind of family member who snores through movie night, who begs shamelessly at dinner, who takes up 3/4 of the bed and refuses to move. Today, Meech is a 6-year-old, pot-bellied, magnificently imperfect Bullmastiff who has absolutely no idea he was ever unwanted. He lives like a king. Scratch that. He lives like a spoiled child who's never been told no in his life. His snoring? Legendary. It rattles windows. It wakes neighbors. It's the soundtrack of every night in the Patterson house. And honestly, nobody would change it. His obsession with laps? Still going strong. All 165 pounds of him will attempt to curl up on whoever's sitting down, completely unaware that he stopped being lap-sized about 5 years ago. And the drool? Oh, the drool. The second anything remotely edible appears, a sandwich, a cracker, even a picture of food on TV, Meech's jowls transform into biological waterfalls. Rivers of slobber cascade onto floors, couches, and unsuspecting humans. It's disgusting. It's hilarious. It's Meech. But here's what nobody expected. The Patterson family that wasn't keeping him can't imagine life without him now. The same people who planned to drop him at a shelter within days ended up building their entire lives around this wrinkled, snoring, drooling, gentle giant. Because that's the thing about dogs like Meech. They don't force their way into your heart with grand gestures or heroic acts. They sneak in quietly, one goofy moment at a time, until one day you realize you'd be lost without them. Meech didn't need to save anyone's life to become irreplaceable. He just needed to be himself. And sometimes that's the most powerful thing of all. If this story touched your heart and you're still not subscribed, please don't wait any longer. Hit that subscribe button. What would you do if you found a puppy tied to your door? Tell me in the comments below. If this story moved you, please hit that like button. It helps more people find these incredible stories.